Good morning on this Sunday, December 14th, 2025. This is a follow-up or continuation from the last video's theme on David. Who was David? And I'm going to read from 1 Samuel chapter 17 in the Old Testament, historical books, I believe. This is what many people are more familiar with about David when he slayed Goliath. There's more to what David did, but we'll just read this. David slays Goliath with sling and stone. Now the Philistines assembled their armies to battle. They were gathered at Socoh of Judah and camped in Ephes-dammim between Socoh and Azekah. Saul and the men of Israel gathered and camped in the valley of Elah, then lined up in battle array against the Philistines. The Philistines were standing on the mountain on one side, and Israel was standing on the mountain of the other side, with the valley between them. Then a champion stepped out from the camp of the Philistines, named Goliath, from Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. He had a bronze helmet on his head and a breastplate of scaled armor. The weight of the bronze breastplate was 5,000 shekels. He also had bronze shin guards on his legs and a bronze javelin slung between his shoulders. The shaft of his spear was like a weaver's beam, and the head of his spear weighed 600 shekels of iron, and his shield bearer was marching ahead of him. Then he stood and shouted out to the ranks of Israel, saying to them, "Why come out to line up in battle array? Am I not the Philistine, and aren't you Saul's servants? Choose for yourselves a man and let him come down to me. If he is able to fight with me and kill me, then we will become your slaves. But if I prevail against him and kill him, then will you become our slaves and serve us." Ooh, is this the origination of slaves? The Philistine added, "Today I defy the ranks of Israel. Give me a man so we may fight together." But when Saul and all Israel heard these words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and very terrified. Now David was son of a certain Ephrathite man of Beth-lehem of Judah, whose name was Jesse. He had 8 sons, and during the days of Saul the man was old, advanced in years among men. Now the 3 oldest sons of Jesse had already left and gone after Saul to the battle. The names of his 3 sons who went to battle were Eliab the firstborn, and second to him Abinadab, and the third Shammah. David was the youngest, so the 3 oldest followed Saul. Now David would go back and forth from Saul to tending his father's sheep by Beth-lehem. For 40 days that Philistine would come out every morning and evening to present himself. And Jesse said to his son David, "Take now for your brothers an ephah of this roasted grain and these 10 loaves, and carry them quickly to the camp to your brothers. Also take these 10 slices of cheese to the captain of their household, and check out the welfare of your brothers, and bring back some token from them. They are with Saul and all the men of Israel in the valley of Elah, fighting with the Philistines." So David rose up early in the morning, let the flock with a keeper, took the provisions, and went as Jesse had commanded him. When he reached the camp, the army was going out to the battle line, shouting a war cry. Israel and the Philistines drew up the battle lines, army against army, and David left his baggage in the care of the baggage keeper. He ran to the battle line and entered to check out his brother's welfare. But as he was talking with them, behold, a champion, the Philistine from Gath, named Goliath, and coming up from the ranks of the Philistines. And he spoke these same words, and David heard them. Upon seeing them, all the men of Israel fled from him in great fear. All the men of Israel saying, "Have you seen this man who keeps coming up? Surely he is coming up to defy Israel. This man who kills him, the king will enrich him with great riches, give him his daughter in marriage, and make his father's house tax-free in Israel." And David asked the men who were standing by him, saying, "What will be done for the man who kills this Philistine and takes away the reproach from Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the ranks of the living God?" The people answered him with the same speech, saying, "Thus it will be done for the man who strikes him down." Now when Eliab, his oldest brother, heard him speaking to the men, Eliab's anger was kindled against David. "Why have you come down here?" he asked. So with him, "Did you leave those few sheep in the wilderness? I know your insolence and the wickedness of your heart, for you've come down here to watch the battle." "What have I done now?" David said. "It was only a question." Then he turned away from him toward someone else and asked the same question. So the people gave him the same answer as before. The words that David said, it was only a the words of David said were overheard and reported before Saul, so he was taken to him. David said to Saul, "Let no one's heart fail because of him. Your servant will go and fight with the Philistine." Then Saul said to David, "You can't go to fight the Philistine, for you're such a youth. He's been a warrior since his youth." But David said to Saul, "Your servant has been tending his father's sheep. When a lion or a bear came and carried off a lamb out of the flock, I went out after it, struck it down, and rescued the lamb out of its mouth. If it rose up against me, I grabbed him by its fur, struck it, and killed it. Your servant has killed both the lion and the bear, so this uncircumcised Philistine will become like one of them, since he has defied the ranks of the living God." And David said, "Adonai, who has delivered me from the paw of the lion and from the paw of the bear, will deliver me from the hand of the Philistine." "Go," said Saul to David, "and may Adonai be with you." Then Saul clothed David with his own garb, put a bronze helmet on his head, and clothed him in armor. David strapped his sword on his garment and tried to walk, but he was not used to it. So David said to Saul, "I cannot walk in these, for I am not used to them." So David took them off. Then he took his staff in his hand, chose 5 smooth stones from the valley, put them in the pocket of his shepherd's bag that he had, and with his sling in his hand he approached the Philistine. Meanwhile the Philistine never knew an approach